Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online teaching academy, Ekaleva. CBSE Class 12 Economics. Chapter Rural Development, Part 2. This part covers the role of agricultural marketing system and the measures initiated by the government to improve agricultural marketing system. Agricultural marketing system, AGMARC. Agricultural marketing is a process that involves the assembling, storage, processing, transportation, packaging, grading, and distribution of different agricultural commodities across the country. Assembling and grading the produce is done according to the quality of the produce. Storage is for the future sale. When the price rises, farmers are motivated to sell the produce. Until then, it is stored in warehouses. Processing of the farm produce is done by using preservatives. And then the farmers need proper transportation facility to market the produce. Packaging is done according to the buyer's taste and preference. After harvesting, the farmers have to assemble their produce, process it, grade it, pack it, and store it before it is sent to the market for sale. Hence, agricultural marketing includes all these processes between harvesting and sale. Problems faced by the farmers. Before independence, farmers were cheated by middlemen and other traders. The small and marginal farmers suffered from faulty weighing and manipulation of accounts. They did not have the knowledge of maintaining accounts. The farmers did not know about the price of the produce. They did not have the knowledge about the prevailing price in the market. Moreover, their produce was spoiled and wasted due to lack of storage and transport facilities. Only when there is proper storage facilities, the farmers can store their produce and sell it when the price rises. Measures to improve agricultural marketing. Many measures were initiated by the government to improve agricultural marketing system. The first one is the regulated market system. The regulated markets have been established for sale and purchase of the produce of the farmer. This is to safeguard the interests of the cultivators. It ensures standardization of weights. Hence, regulated markets help the farmers from not being cheated by the traders or other middlemen. The next step taken by the government to improve agricultural marketing is by providing proper physical infrastructure. Physical infrastructure facilities like railways, roadways, storage system, which includes cold storage too, help the farmers to get better price for their produce. Railways and roadways offer transport facility to the farmers to bring the produce from the place where it is cultivated to the urban markets. Warehouses and cold storage facility helps the farmers to avoid distress sale. Central and state warehousing corporations are the government agencies offering warehousing facilities to the farmers. Setting up of marketing cooperatives. Government encourages the formation of cooperatives to assure fair price for agricultural produce. Through collective sale, farmers get better price for their produce. Moreover, there is direct link or direct contact between the farmer and the consumers. The policy instruments are one of the main measures to improve agricultural marketing. The first one being the assurance of MSP, that is minimum support price. This is an important initiative in favor of the farmers to improve agricultural marketing system. It is an assurance to the farmers that their produce would be purchased by the government at reasonable rates. It means farmers are always assured of a minimum income. The next is the maintenance of buffer stock. The government purchases farm produce from the farmers at minimum support price, and they are kept as buffer stock by the government. These stocks are used when there is an urgent need during scarcity and even for supplying to the people through PDS. PDS implies the distribution of food grains and other essentials through fair price shops at subsidized rate. Poor sections of the society have an easy access to the things provided through PDS, that is the public distribution system, and the people are benefited a lot. Let us now know the alternate marketing channels. Alternative marketing channels give hope to the small and marginal farmers. There's a direct sale by the farmers to the customers. Initially, the farmers were cheated by the middlemen. However, alternative marketing channel reduces such risk. The states Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan have launched the alternative marketing channel through the market named Apne Mandi. Pune has launched Hadaspar Mandi, and Andhra Pradesh has launched Raitu Bazaar, and Tamil Nadu has launched Ulavar Sandai. Today, electronic media and print media help the farmers in deciding on the quantity to be sold and when to be sold and at what price to be sold. Agricultural diversification. Agricultural diversification refers to adopting farming patterns, inputs, sources of rural employment different from the ones pursued presently. The two aspects of diversification are diversification of crop production and diversification of production activity. Diversification of crop production is the change in the cropping pattern. That is, from single cropping to multiple cropping. It can also be a shift from subsistence farming to commercial farming. Diversification of production activity means the shift from crop farming, that is agriculture, to non-agricultural activity or non-farm activities. In other words, there's a shift from agricultural activities to allied activities. Allied activities like animal husbandry, horticulture, fisheries, beekeeping, etc. It also includes subsectors like food processing, leather industry, handloom industry, or even handicraft industries, etc. In recent times, women engage themselves in non-farm activities. Tanwa, that is Tanwa, Tanwa. It means Tamil Nadu Women in Agriculture. So, Tanwa is a project initiated in Tamil Nadu to train women in latest agricultural techniques. Apart from this, women engage themselves in soap making, pottery making, doll making, and then mushroom cultivation, etc. Thus, agricultural diversification helps in stabilization of farm income by lowering the market risk. It provides productive, sustainable livelihood options to rural people. Animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is one of the non-farm areas of production activity. This refers to breeding, raising, and taking care of farm animals as an economic activity. Every economic activity earns an income to the farmer. Hence, animal husbandry is one of the source of livelihood for the farmers. The output that the farmer gets through animal husbandry is milk, eggs, wool, etc. It provides stable income, food security, fuel to households, nutrition in the sense all nutritious food, and then animals are used as a means of transport by the farm. In 1970, India's National Dairy Development Board, that is NDDB, National Dairy Development Board, launched Operation Flood, and this is a revolution in milk production. It is a system where farmers can pool their produce, that is the produced milk, according to grading based on quality, and then the same is processed and marketed through cooperatives. Gujarat has been very successful in Operation Flood, and this Operation Flood gave fair price and assured incomes to the farmers. Animal husbandry is also called livestock farming. Livestock farming in the sense poultry, cattle rearing, then sheep rearing, etc. All these are the important components of livestock. Livestock farming is also an important source of employment for women. Operation Flood transformed India from a milk deficient nation into the world's largest milk producer. So earlier, before the introduction of this Operation Flood system, India was one of the milk deficient nation. It means there was shortage of milk in our country. But later on, after 1970s, India has become one of the largest producers of milk. And then milk production in India increased by more than 5 times between 1960 and 2012. When the farmers depend exclusively on agriculture, it is a risk. If there's a failure of monsoon, then there's a loss for the farmer. Let us now see the distribution of poultry and other livestock in India in 2012. This pie diagram gives a clear picture about the distribution of poultry in 2012. Poultry accounts for the largest share with 58% and cattle around 24%, sheep and goats around 16%, pigs around 1% share in the total livestock in India. And these other animals contribute to only 1%, like the pigs, which contribute only 1% to the total livestock in India. These other animals include horse, camels, donkeys, ponies, mules, etc. India is blessed with favorable climate and soil conditions. Variety of crops can be cultivated in India. Hence, horticulture is also a very important non-farm activity. Horticulture refers to production of fruits, vegetables, flowers, medicinal plants, spices, aromatic plants, plantation crops, etc. So variety of crops are cultivated. Aromatic plants are the plants which give pleasant smell. It means aroma. India is the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world. In India, fruits like bananas and mangoes are cultivated. Apart from fruits and vegetables, India is the leading producer of cashews, that is cashew nuts, then coconuts, spices, etc. Horticulture sector contributes nearly 1/3 of output of agriculture and about 6% of India's GDP. These crops provide nutritious food besides giving employment opportunities. High crop productivity led to golden revolution in horticulture. This refers to the series of research or development in technology and that has increased the production of horticultural crops. Horticulture can be successful if the infrastructure facilities like electricity, cold storage, transport facilities, marketing linkages, and processing units are developed. Fisheries. It is an important non-farm source of rural employment. Fishermen respect water bodies as mother as it is a life-giving source for them. The water bodies like the seas and oceans and lakes, etc. States like Kerala, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu are the principal states in India where fisheries is an important source of livelihood in the rural areas. Men go for fishing, but women do not go for fishing, but they engage themselves in internal and external marketing. Fish production from inland source contributes about 64% to the total fish production, whereas from marine sector, it is 36%. The contribution from fish production towards our GDP is too low. It accounts for about 0.9% of the total GDP. Fishermen do not get a stable income always. Sometimes, due to bad weather condition, they do not go for fishing, and these people, as they are illiterate, they don't go for other job too. So they suffer a lot. Organic farming. Organic farming is a whole system of farming that restores, maintains, and enhances the ecological balance. So without any chemical fertilizers, the plants are grown by the farmers through this organic farming. And it is, of course, the need of the hour. The farmers use vermicompost, then green leaf manures, biofertilizers, etc., and cultivate crops. Let us now discuss the advantages of organic farming. Cheaper inputs are used to cultivate organic farming crops. Instead of buying pesticides and chemical fertilizers, the farmer uses natural manures. The output from The organic farming crops have more or high nutritional value. Hence, they are a potential in exports. There's more demand for these produce. Organic farming is also a good source of employment for the people. It is eco-friendly and it helps in the sustainable development of agriculture. However, there are few disadvantages too. The yield per hectare from organic farming is too less because chemical fertilizers are not used, the pesticides are not used, hence the yield per hectare is less. The organic farming produce is easily perishable. They don't last for many days. It cannot be stored without cold storage system. It requires more work to produce goods that are ready for sale. And the farmers who are engaged must have specific knowledge about the localized growing systems. It usually costs more. The produce from organic farming is costly because the nutritional value of it is high. It is cultivated without using chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Obviously, the demand would be high. When the demand is high, the cost is also high. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Thank you.